Okay, so I want to play with the World Snake, chat. 6/6 can't be countered for 7. At the beginning of each upkeep, your opponent's and yours, you get a 3/3 blue Serpent token. And you can sacrifice another Serpent to tap something and disable its abilities, or give Koma indestructible until end of turn. Past Koma, I've got some Kogla, the Titan Apes, and some Elder Gargaroths in here as additional win conditions. I've got a bunch of ramp. We've got Solemn, Binding of the Old Gods, Tangled Florahedron, and Wolfwillow Haven as ways to ramp up. I've got some Scavenging Oozes as ways to deal with all the Croxes running around that we've been running into. And then I wanted a source of card advantage, and I think Graven Lore looks sweet. It's possible that this should just be the Scry 2 draw 2 foretold spell, but I want to try playing some snow lands and playing this. So I've got a bunch of snow basics, and the snow basics, in addition to enabling Graven Lore, also mean I get to play a couple copies of Faceless Haven as another threat / closer in my deck. So I've got 2 Faceless Havens, and then 4 swamp, 4 forest, 2 island as snow-covered lands. So let's dive on into some games with this. Just kind of like reasonable interaction with Binding of the Old Gods, Bloodchief's Thirst, and Extinction Event. A little bit of ramp to get to some powerful threats at the top end ahead of curve, and then Graven Lore to kind of tie the room together and help us find what we're looking for a little bit more consistently. Are there any good Serpents in Standard? I think Lotus Cobra is technically a Serpent. And maybe, yeah, oh, this is a snake, right? Wow, what a flavor fail. What an incredible flavor fail that this doesn't work with this. That's a big miss. All right, let's play some Sultai Koma. Hey, Farsight, thanks for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'll be back to doing some Rune Terror stuff on Wednesday when their next patch drops. Ugin's the better top end than Koma. I don't know if that's strictly correct. So Ugin is definitely going to be better against creature decks that play to the board, but Koma is better against removal spells and counter spells, which there are a non-zero amount of. Like Ugin just being a sweeper that then trades 1-for-1 for like a piece of removal, like, isn't stellar in some matchups. You're right, though, that Ugin is definitely better in the mid-range matchups, and there's a chance that the Ugin in my sideboard there should just be more than one Ugin in my sideboard. I'm really sad every time I see this game board, because every time I see this game board, it means that we're not getting to play on... the sweet Chaldeum game board. I really love the Kaldheim. I really like the Kaldheim board. I'm not a huge fan of this one. The soundtrack is good, but the actual, and like, the look of it is pretty bland. What's up, dude? Good morning, Jacob. I'm doing well today. How are you doing, Jacob?
Look at that ruin in that dog.
It is a wolf, you're right.
And what a ruin. Let's look at that. That's a ruin.
They're in a forest.
Yeah.
It's the Wolfwillow Haven. It's where all the puppies live.
A wolf forest? We gonna be one-shotted.
So, because I had the Wolfwillow Haven in hand, I elected to play our Florahedron as a land tier because I'm hoping to cycle this Triome down the line. Huh. Kinda want to play Solemn Simulacrum for resource efficiency. I guess I could play this and cycle this turn, and that's sufficient. I think it's important that I kill this Edgewall Innkeeper before it draws cards.
Oh, what? We gonna go join the baby.
Baby. How was your first class this morning?
I'm not by my book. I got by my break.
Oh, you got a 5-minute break? Oh, she need to go back upstairs pretty soon? I appreciate you coming to visit me on your break. You're a good kid.
Oh, what are you doing?
We are cycling. Cycling turns that card into a different card.
Hot.
Alright, so we just do this, then we drop our Gargaroth.
Excellent.
That Saga is so good. Until your end of your next turn, you may play those cards. I mean, they have to play these cards now, which means I get to attack with Gargaroth next turn and generate some value.
What?
It is a powerful card. It's a beast.
Ew, black puppy. Oh, big pepper. That pepper cost you 66 damage, right?
It does do 6, you're right.
That is your boy Bree.
Okay, so that's a terrible draw. That's one island, and this gets us our second island, so we can then play Graven Lore. I think I'm just going to offer this trade for these two here.
Play a Graven Lore, okay? Play Graven.
I think I want to draw a card.
But level up Graven Lore, first. Level up that guy.
Whoa, did they just no blocks that? That's so good for us.
Damage.
Well, they're down to 11. This is how many life they have. So they only took 6 damage, but they're down to 11 life.
Yeah.
And Florahedron here. We have plenty of lands. Let's cast this.
Daddy.
Hey, Jacob.
The hot dog tiger.
The hot dog tiger. What's a hot dog tiger?
I thought that I don't eat your stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think you should go back upstairs so you don't miss your class if you're just on break, okay? I love you. You too, buddy. Oh, right. They still have the trigger from that. So that lives and then it hits us. Yikes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No reason to block, right? I mean, I don't want to take 12. And I would like to draw a card from my thing. See, I think blocking is fine. Hey, look, chat. Don't you love when your dig through time draws another dig through time? I do. This is dig through snow, something like that. Might die here. Was that a good draw? If so, why? Please explain. This play is going to be a little bit odd, but bear with me. Yeah, I have 3 kids. I can make that joke. Wow, that's super rude. Wow, their deck draws a lot of cards. The Naya deck just hardcore outdrawing us. Hey, Whiskey Dingo, thanks for the sub gift. I appreciate the support. Only have 7 mana? 8, 9. I haven't played a land yet either this turn yet, have I? Maybe I did. I don't have enough blue to play this turn. That's sad. Feels like we're dead. My two Scry 5 draw 3s were just not anywhere near enough to keep up with all the card advantage my opponent's deck was able to generate. That doesn't bode well as a good start for us, chat. Is they're drawing a bunch of cards and they also get to play Embercleave. I mean, the opponent's deck gets to both play a bunch of card advantage and also play a 3-mana 5/5. Seems like a pretty good mix. My Wilts here look good. Ugin sounds lovely. Ugin sounds nice. There should probably be more Ugins in my deck, is the TLDR. The opponent's deck is doing, archetype is doing enough things that I should probably need this as just like a reset button in order to keep up. Is Disdainful Stroke worthwhile here? It counters Henge and their other spell. I feel like I'd rather just have things that play to the board. The fact that they got to play that card that exiles my Solemn is real sad. Oh, it counters Cleave too. When he attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment that defending player controls. That's true. That is technically artifact and enchantment removal. Might be wrong to trim this just because it ramps. The fact that it's going to be unlikely to draw a card in a lot of situations with their 2-drop feels bad though. Sure. Bottom stroke here. Keep these. Rugger, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I think I hold on to this for now in case they have an innkeeper. Alright, fingers crossed a land comes off the top, I suppose. Hypnose, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. They are very pretty. I agree. This is where the magic happens. We were playing 26 lands, plus 4 Tangled Florahedron, plus 4 Wolfwillow. Okay. This can fetch us up a Triome next turn, which is nice. They are not legendary, that is correct. I mean, like, their thing killed my thing that already killed some things. So, like, that's not really too terrible of an exchange for us. All things considered, we're in a great spot. Got the old gods all wrapped up, chat, in our loving embrace. Yep. So, waiting on a Snowdraw card. This is my tutu. Now, I think we're at an advantage from a position like this on average because our card advantage doesn't take other cards to pair with it, which is nice. Whereas, like, my opponent's card advantage, I guess they have their Saga. If they hit their 4-mana Saga before we hit our Snow spell, we'll probably be in trouble. Why do they have that in against us? What did we play that Glass Casket was good against last game? I guess they want to tag our Tangled Florahedron if we're going to ramp. One World Serpent, please. Oh, I did have Scavenging Ooze. I boarded Scooze out because they're not a graveyard deck. I did have Scavenging Ooze. A snake, a snake. Oh, it's a snake. Who's the badger of this deck, chat? This is the snake. Who's the badger? Thud. How's Awaken the Trolls yesterday? Awful. Is it weird after watching you play Magic Fire makes me want to try Runeterra? I completely took a break from card games when I fell out of love with Magic, but watching this makes me want to play a card game again. Runeterra is great. Magic's been fun. I'm going to take a short Runeterra break while I wait for their next patch, but I'll be back into that on Wednesday next week. Games are fun. I'd recommend trying both of them if you're not sure which one interests you. Runeterra is definitely way more affordable than Magic, and that's not particularly close. It's super strong. I think we're gaining life with this. Is that crazy? That is Salt, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hippity, thank you for the 28 months. Good to see you around again. Our Serpent is definitely coiling the world in its loving embrace. Oh, I forgot to sack my Serpent. That was bad. I should have sacked it to diddle something. Sorry, I'm not used to playing. They're dead. It doesn't matter. They're dead. Should have sacked it to tap one of their things, though, for sure. Okay, but what if I put this other snake into my deck? What if I put this other snake into my deck? I just want all the world serpents, chat. But what about more Sneck? Yeah, if they don't have Giant Slayer for the snake the turn we play it, they probably can't take it off the board. Sure. I got the whole world snake in my hand. I got the whole wide world snake. In this hand, we've got the whole wide world snake. In this hand, do 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 do. So, this isn't a super exciting play, but I think I just do this because it's resource efficient. I don't have double black because this comes into play tapped to Bloodchief Thirst Kick to kill this. I think we just do that. Yeah, they get to Shepherd of the Flock, pick the Showdown back up. I guess I'm just doing this. I mean, it's good when you're at parity too, Clador. It's just a piece of card advantage. Binding's a good draw. Helps keep us alive until we can get to the World Serpent here. I unfortunately have to choose between second blue and third green. Oh, Binding. If Binding doesn't die, that'll give us what we're looking for. Okay, they did not find... That's kind of scary. Oh, I need 2 blue and 2 green, and these are Swamp colorless. So I actually can't play this without drawing a land next turn. Okay, that's fine. So we fetch with this, and we grab a forest, and we can Turntimber Symbiosis this turn. Yikes. And we're dead. Yep. What I'm about to say is going to shock you, chat, but I'm getting a strong suspicion that if my deck is not based around mechanics out of Eldraine, it's probably not going to be reasonable in this format. I definitely want some Ugins in my deck. Probably a third Elder Gargaroth too, honestly. I'm gonna put the Scoozes in the board. I have 15 cards on my board. Yeah, we submitted 14 card sideboards a few times yesterday. Isn't this deck based around the strongest thing with Eldraine, green, and blue? That's true. That's true. Am I allowed to play Oko if I don't play any other cards on a throne? Would that be a legal play? Yeah, I see it looks good, right? We bottom Florahedron. We fetch Island, this is Forest, we go Wolfwillow into Binding. And then even if we flood, we can hopefully Symbiosis into something. So, we have a 2-3. Looks like an old god to me, chat. A little bit rusty on my Norse mythology, but that's god adjacent, right? Bind it up. Bind it up. They have flash deck? They could be a flash deck. Five, 6. So we're 1 off of Symbiosis here. We definitely want to just keep the board clear here. So we're going to binding this up, get some more lands going. Keith, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Then, do I want to get another Triome for fixing, or do I want to grab... Do I want to grab another piece of snow mana? Probably getting counterspelled this turn, I imagine. Because remember, this makes 2 mana while the dragon's in play. Ha! Didn't get counterspelled, but missed on the Symbiosis. Obviously, best draw would have been our giant reach monster. Maybe I'm just supposed to YOLO the Ugin there. Goldspan Dragon's been really sweet when we've played it. Ugin will kill the Havens. He will. But I don't have another play, so goodbye Havens.
Then this is my silence.
You just got turn 2 Ugin. Yeah, we got turn 2 comboed back to back yesterday. Was a thing. Hey, blue is the color. Thank you for the sub gifties. I really appreciate that. Good morning. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Nice 7-mana card, idiot. Who is that? Is that Eldraine? Knock, knock, knocking at my chamber door? That's so strange. Timmy is sad, chat. Timmy is sad. Nice card, nerd. I think we're supposed to keep the 2 copies because they're gonna have more. They're gonna have a bunch of counter spells post board, and like I know getting Brazen Borrower is gonna suck, but like Brazen Borrower is good against most of our stuff. This probably isn't even good. They have like Goldspan Dragon and like maybe a Cleave. It's gonna bring in like a couple extra pieces of spot removal. Maybe Eat to Extinction is fine. Like killing their dragon seems okay. That might be better than Extinction Event, honestly. Having the target removal instant speed. Yeah, Brazen Borrower is arguably the best bounce spell ever printed in 26 years of Magic or whatever, however long this game's been around. Think we're supposed to play the Triome on one. We're gonna just like never draw a spell. I think Brazen Borrower is better than Cryptic Command. It's definitely easier to cast, which is a consideration in terms of how good it is. What's going on, Zap? Yeah, Cryptic Command drawing a card is worse than a threat on average, I think. This is probably a 2-mana counter target spell. Yeah, I like the design of adventures in general, too. Just a little bit of a bummer when they're just way better than everything else. So I have black. I don't really need more than 2 black, right? So I'd rather get extra blue. This Witcher music. No, Witcher's just generic fantasy music, chat. This is the board music. This board is well done. The music is great. The look and feel of it is great. Dear Wizards, please take $10 from me and let me only play on this board. I want to give you money to only play on the pretty board. Better, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. How much for submissions? $50. I will play your Magic deck for 550 USD. Wow, and this making a 2-mana treasure means that they get to hold up counter target spell from the Foretold. I think we're gonna play the opponent's archetype later today or tomorrow, depending on where time takes us. It looks sweet. We do thankfully get to Heartless Act this to take them off of the ability to make 2 mana, so we'll get to stick Gargaroth this turn, which is nice. Oh, it doesn't take them off 2 mana because they get a treasure when we target it. I mean, again, for the record, for people that are asking me if things are playable, something that is true regardless of how good or bad this current format is we don't know is the answer, chat. Anybody telling you that they currently knows what the best deck is in this format is either an idiot or they're lying to you. Maybe a mixture of the two. It takes a few weeks for things to settle down, at least a week or two. There are a lot of people that they like to try and make a name for themselves on hot takes during this session. And to their credit, hot takes sell and generate clicks. So I don't know that I really fault people for doing it, but it's definitely dishonest and disingenuous. I'm gonna try 1 or 2 more with this, but believe it or not, my 7 mana finisher that doesn't have an enters play effect is probably not good. It's so sad how many sweet bombs are just nowhere near playable in Magic a lot of the time. Because, like, the World Snake's such a sweet design, and, like, it's got an awesome animation, and it's just, like, doesn't clear the bar needed for playability, it feels like. Even against a deck like that, where it's full of counterspells where it should be great, you just get, like, tempoed to hell and back by Brazen Borrower, and it ends up looking really embarrassing. Actually, I'm gonna keep the extra basic over the pathway, because I don't need the fixing from the pathway, and I'd rather have more snow things for my my draw card. Huh? Think I gotta play off curve and kill the Edgewall Innkeeper here? I think we're holding this to potentially cycle down the line here. This and this both technically make mana, so having this to turn into another card sounds potentially good. Oh, good! And we're gonna get Ember Cleaved. They also had Lucky Clover, yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to block here to force them to cleave here. That's actually what I'm probably supposed to do, huh? I don't think we can beat Cleave on the 1/1 though, is the problem. Solemn's probably Graven Lore, right? This is probably not a card we have time to do. We just lean on our threats as card advantage. This is kind of card advantage too. Extinction Event's kind of slow too. I'd rather have these Eat to Extinctions as extra removal spells. Yeah, and this hand's great. Another thing, too, to consider, too, that's important to remember in Magic is that Magic tends to be pretty heavily skewed play-draw variants. So, you know, that last game, opponent was on the play. They were able to just run us down. Now, we get to be on the play with Ramp Spell into Ramp Spell, which will put us pretty far ahead. The artwork is very good on these. Agree. So, I think I need to Solemn this turn as opposed to Binding, because if I Binding and then don't draw an untapped land, I can't play Gargaroth next turn. Because this puts a land into play tap. So this is a ramp spell, but it doesn't ramp until turn 6, basically. They are Naya. I wonder if they have Giant Slayer in their deck. That'd be pretty bad for us here. Oh, is this the same person we played against? I don't pay attention to usernames when I play games. It's weird that green card doesn't have haste. Maybe I should attack with the Solemn there too, to make it so they have to either choose to eat this or double block. Just gonna do this. Get an untapped land here, we can Ugin. So, pretty easy win with us on the play here. I'm not sure we really have tools that allow us to break serve on the draw if our opponent has a decent draw, though. I assume that's going to be a struggle. So they have to exile this, otherwise they're dead. They're just going to concede anyways? Sure. Trimming this is probably wrong. It's probably extra slow on the draw. I don't feel like I can cut any of my actual top end. While the ramp was really nice on the play, I don't think we can afford to play a 2-2 for 4 mana a lot of the times when we're on the draw in a matchup like this. I assume Cardboard Live is having bandwidth issues. It wasn't working for me on day 9 stream last night either. Questing Beast is still standard legal, yes. So we'll fetch Swamp with this tapped on 1, 2, 3. Just gonna fetch this now for the auto pass value. This is game 3. It's our second time we've played this opponent. There aren't any secrets here between us. New set release, Willie. Reading the title is also a strong play too. I'd argue that reading needs to be nerfed a little bit though, so I don't put it past people that don't read out of protest. Wow, this card is rude against us, chat. Man. Talk about a hate card, huh? I don't have double black, so I can't kick this. So it makes our non-creature 4+ spells cost more. And then it also, the backside prevents damage. Okay, I mean... Oh, I'm missing... Okay, so I can bolt myself here and then Extinction Event, right? Nah, Rune Terror is between patches, Willie. So just looking to poke in at other stuff. I think I need to draw cards for now. Trying to hit some mana to get up to our daddy Ugin. This matchup's a lot easier when my opponent floods out. It's weird how that works. And I don't know that Gargaroth is silly so much that, like, my opponent clearly doesn't have spells. And they're gonna play the Lovestruck Beast. We'll kill it. We'll attack for lethal because he's trample. It does. Hope my opponent floods out is a strong play that is guaranteed to get you to victory in most cases. Looks like an old god to me. Bind it up. Wrap them up. Tyler Durden. Never forget the first rule of Fight Club, chat. Hey, that scene looks great. 2 mana ramp spell, 4 mana ramp spell, sign me up. This is a Symbiosis tapped on one hand. Step on me, daddy. You know what I like. Oh, yeah. Stomp, stomp. It's stomping time. Ooh, my opponent missed a land drop. I hope all of you are taking notes on this current masterclass on outplaying my opponent. Are Snowlands strictly better than basics? Yeah, pretty much. There's technically one Snowland hate card, but in actuality, it's really not that good or gonna see much play, so you should probably be playing Snow Basics. There's more corner cases where Snow Basics are better than normal basics than there are where Snow Basics are worse. Is the TLDR. Really know what they're doing. Looks like they have a bunch of things that cost more than 2, though, which makes Bloodchief Thirst a little bit awkward. I'd rather have Eat to Extinction, I think. Scavenging Ooze sounds fine. They're probably a Croxa deck. I'm going to trim a Graven Lore. I'm going to trim a Solemn on the draw. Alaro, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. All counts the same. Could be possible that we have enough mana sources that I should save this to cycle. Guess we're playing this. Howdy, Fish Lamp. You're going to step on my scoos? The Reel of Possibility. So they're all in on the Graveyard Churn, huh? They had a couple of Foretell cards in the first game too when they were stumbling. No blocks in this attack. Yeah, the fact that the As Foretold cards aren't revealed is really awkward and bad. Is anybody in chat a Magic judge? In Paper Magic, are you required to reveal the Foretold cards at the end of turn? At the end of game? You are, right? It's just like Morph? Okay, so it's a bug and Arena has put me at a competitive disadvantage because it doesn't play the game by the rules. Yeah, in Magic, you're required to reveal hidden information at the end of the game to the opponent to prove that you weren't cheating. So, Morph cards and Foretold cards, you need to flip up and reveal to prove to your opponent that you did not cheat. Obviously, in Arena, cheating's not a concern, but Arena is supposed to emulate Paper Magic, so that rule for Paper Magic needs to also be emulated in Arena. If Magic was an all-digital game, we wouldn't need to do that, but it's not. I am pretty sure that's not the case, Gengar. I will double check at the end of this match, but that was not the case when we played yesterday. They were not revealed when we clicked View Battlefield yesterday. Maybe yesterday was bugged specifically. But I definitely went back and looked yesterday. I think I'm just eventing to get rid of this. The jury's still out, press a pick. I mean, it's like day 2 of the format, right? So, like, no one knows. You have to check the exile zone. They just aren't on the field. Oh, well, that's intuitive. It removes them from the place where they were previously and expects me to click over here. Sure. Sounds about right. We can check after this game if this Foretold card doesn't get played. So, pretty big mistake here on my part. If I would have played this last turn instead of my untapped land, I could have played World Serpent this turn, but I didn't and now I can't. Oh, that's a good question. If they have a bunch of exiled cards, can you tell which one it is? Apex, thank you for the 16 months. Welcome back. I've not played Is It Flash yet. No, it's on my list to get to. I'm gonna keep my snake. I will accept arguments that this is the wrong play, but this is the sweet play. I don't play my snake. This is the part where they play second Croxa, it didn't matter anyways, right? Binning the land's much better against second Croxa. Beginning of your upkeep deals 2 damage to each opponent. So these trade, unfortunately. Gives me a couple more turns against this, though. Killing this that doubles up their damage. I don't know why would that card be good, Armored Panther? Can you explain? Running hot shit. Let's try and close this game out, huh? Binding is super reasonable. Kill target thing, get a land is a good rate. Third chapter is whatever, but the first two are fine. Yeah, it's a 4/3 vigilance that activates for triple snow. It's one of the 2 snow payoffs I'm playing. I would be surprised if like an all-in snow deck is good, but I would bet that like things like Faceless Haven and a couple of the other payoffs are good. And the land's really good. We're playing 2 of those and 4 of the 5 mana snow draw card. Yeah, 3 mana for 4 damage is an incredible rate. Nah, I'm not really interested in playing meme decks, Beansy. I'm gonna be focusing on things that could potentially be competitive. We're still gonna play some weird. We're gonna play a lot of weird things still, but only things that I think could maybe have a chance to be optimized. Yeah, there's a Naya adventure deck going around with that draw spell. That seems very reasonable. We mulligan this. All of our lands are tapped. Double Graven Lore, double Ugin is pretty clunky. Although, actually, opponents playing Yorion, which implies a greedy mid-range deck, right? Do I keep this against mid-range greed? I think we do, actually. That is one aspect of Companions that I love. It's very similar to Hearthstone and Runeterra, where you get information before you mulligan. I think that's something... Games are much better when you can make informed decisions. Lukewarm take. Yeah, there's some kind of Doom Foretold deck. Alright, well, we kept 3 lands on the draw. If we hit our 4th land, Solemn and Gravestone will propel us into more. Unfortunately, this is Magic, so despite the fact that we're playing 34 mana sources, we've now missed. So we have 26 lands, 4 of these, and then 4 Wolfwillow Havens. I think my keep was good against Yorion deck. That's just how it goes.
Time to improvise.
What's the Hyper Geo on how often we are to miss there? There were 31 mana sources and 53 cards. We had 3 sample size on the draw. Number of successes in population. Or 94% to hit there. So 1 in 20 we miss. Yeah, I agree, Prespik. The land, I was actually really sad that Kaldheim did not have more land spell split cards. I think they should just make double face cards and land spell split cards the norm moving forward. I think they are the best mechanic to come to Magic in the 2.5 decades I've been playing. the decade and a half I've been playing, 2.5 decades it's existed. I think we're just too far behind at this point. I'm just not going to give my opponent information about what we're playing. I think we could maybe like half play a game, but I think that's pretty much in garbage time there, so I'm gonna go ahead and move along. Extinction Event seems pretty bad. Titan Ape's probably not very good. I doubt this is gonna get to attack most times. Honestly, Wolfwillow Haven, I think I just want to... I know we just stumbled and died there, but I think it's correct to trim mana sources in this matchup where it's going to go long a lot of the time. This isn't a matchup where I need to play to the board super quickly. Okay, like this. Don't make bad decisions based on getting unlucky in a single game. Hey, Biomass, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. My favorite deck I've played. I liked Red Black Skies yesterday. And then here's a real question, like, do I think I'm supposed to just play slow and, like, play Florahedron as a land tier against Doom Foretold. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to play that out. I'd rather just have a land rather than something that can get killed. How do you do the rule of thumb for trimming mana sources? Well, it depends on the style of deck. So, like, in this deck where I have 34 mana sources, you can trim them a lot more liberally than in a deck where you have, like, you know, 24 or 25. This deck is technically over half mana. It's a great card to draw after they've looked at our hand. This is one of our other snow payoffs here. Get to scry X, where X is the number of snow manas you paid into it. While we were trimming Solemn in a lot of the aggressive matchups, this style of matchup is exactly the one you want this card in. Grinds very, very nicely. So, I think we played this, and then we just Binding here, and we kill the Archon, and then this kills itself, assuming they don't have something with Flash. Get to Mystic Dispute that as 3 mana leak. And then I think the play here is Turntimber, hoping to find a World Snake. A snake, oh, it's a snake. Binding, Ugin. To all the Zoomers out there that are confused by that song, don't worry about it. It's older than you. So, they're gonna sacrifice this to itself next turn? Sneaky snack. Hey, Julian, thanks for the follow. Or thanks for the sub. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate the support. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Seems like we've got a reasonable plan here. This deck looks great. I don't know about great. It looks functional. I will accept functional. I will reject the acronym great, the adjective great, and I will replace it with functional. This is a green mana? Yeah, that sounds fine, right? We play this for blue on 1. Got a bunch of counter spells. I have to say, the pathways are my favorite dual lands Magic has ever printed, and it's not close. I like them a lot. Pain-free good fixing that doesn't let you play all the colors for free is quite excellent. They took my land. That's rude. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Turntimber there. Temples are your favorite fight me. Temples are probably better for mid-range and control. I don't even know if I agree with that though. Definitely sad that I let my land get discard spelled. Thanks for the 11 months, Caffeine Cafe. I appreciate that. I boarded out 4 mana sources, but remember, we are still on a lot of mana sources in this deck. Opponent also stumbling here, which is nice. I think Fabled Passage is an awesome land as well, but I don't consider it a dual land, so I don't put it in the same category when talking about things that I like as far as like pathways are. They go land Doom Foretold. I'm pretty sad here, but I don't really want them to stick their thing there. Morning D20 Bandit. So I assume this is getting countered. This might be wrong. They like kill this and then untap and play something scary. Like if they play a Kaya here, I kind of get got, or a Doom Foretold. Yeah, I probably should be more patient. Let's see how badly we get punished. Just a Doom Scar. That's actually great for us. Hey, Wasatch Warrior, welcome back for the sub. I appreciate the half year. Welcome back. This Mystic Dispute's gonna draw dead pretty soon anyway, so I think I just take my mana exchanges here while the taken is good. They know about this stroke. Yeah, yesterday was fine, Prispic. We played for 6 hours yesterday. It was fine. There's a reason why I'm back again today. I'm gonna give it a real fair shake here, at least try to. This whole game just goes different if I played Symbiosis on one, like I should have, instead of letting it get exposed to agonizing remorse. It's like if we lose this, it's definitely because I messed up. If I like have a 7th land, I can slam World Serpents. The whole game's different. Okay, so I think we're doing this for the sake of ramping. Killing this also makes their Yorion slightly worse, so it has value in terms of that as well. This is going to get us the 7th mana.
Stand by as innocent people are slaughtered. And stay gone.
Okay, so now I'm going to cycle this because I want the best chance to hit a land for this next turn.
I got in over my head. There's no job too tough for me to handle.
This whole game is just very different. If I another saw it coming, I was hoping it was a Doomscar. They've already played 2 saw it comings. Okay. 3 freaking years, TMS, that's a long time. Thanks for keeping me around, I appreciate it. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. This was not the land I wanted for Christmas. It'll do in a pinch, though. They gotta sacrifice something here to the Doom Foretold. They don't really want to make me sacrifice this. They know about this Ugin. So this could be a counter spell, and they're just holding it for the Ugin. So I think I'm going to play this, because this is also good against Doomscar, right? Because if this is the sweeper, this makes Serpents to protect itself, and this can't be countered. Opponent missed their castle activation there. Might be able to scrape back into this game despite the fact that I missequenced my mana early and got punished for it. Okay, so this is 100% a counterspell. Thankfully, we're not dead, because I can sack snakes to tap things. This gives them a window to kill our Serpent, though. but that's fine because I've got another one. Oh, this can tap lands. That's wild. I didn't think about that. Good catch. Tap target permanent. Do I save this or do I tap something? I think I save this, right? No, because they can just make a token and block. But they didn't have White Castle hanging out in the background. Okay, so if this is a counter spell or a discard spell, we're dead. But if it's not, we're in a pretty good spot with Ugin here. Oh, these have vigilance. Okay.
Return to the essence of the multiverse.
All right, our thing resolved. I think we're in a good spot. Got it. Chat, can you believe people wanted me to cut copies of the World Serpent? It's my snake. His loving coils seek to embrace you all, chat. His loving coils just want to reach out and hug you. Is Jeff playing with his snake against the TOS? No, it's fine. I have my pants on. We've been live for 3 hours. Let's reboot the client. I'm not going to be done playing Sultai, but let's reboot the client real quick. It's getting a little slow at the end of the games. Still leaks memory, it appears. Arita's still Arita, press pick. Gotta give it the old kick every once in a while. God bless solid state drives. Cutting down that load time. If you're new to the channel like Xylus, thanks for the follow. Welcome. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I do a lot of card games and turn-based strategy games like Magic, Runeterra, and others. I also do some single-player story-driven stuff. I'll be focusing primarily on Magic for the next week or so. Exploring their new set. If their new set seems reasonable and the formats are fun, I plan to integrate Magic as part of my regular content again. This is actually fine, right? We're on the draw. I have 2 lands and a ramp spell. I have 2 lands, double ramp spell. Our M2 drives are solid state drives, right? Is my jargon wrong? Do M2 drives not count as solid states? Are they technically different technology? I was under the impression that M2s are also SSDs. Not all SSDs are M2, but M2s are SSDs. I'm only taking Magic donation decks for $50 or more. Press a pick. Which basically means I'm not taking them because most people don't want to spend that kind of money. Okay, yeah, my computer has 2 M2 drives in it. Double-edged. Thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Yeah, the M2 is the socket. Yeah, it's the form factor. Good. I was understanding then. They are faster than normal SSDs because of the type of connection that they use, correct? Did I click on the wrong thing there? I totally clicked on the wrong thing. Well, I intended to pick blue mana with this, but I messed up. That's fine. We'll search up Zagoth Triome with this. Shui, thanks for the follow. Yeah, it binds forest. Press a pick. My Triome is a forest. This card's really good. Just pretend the third chapter doesn't exist. The first 2 chapters are playable. When it dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield with stuff. Sure. Although I guess this turn it technically lets this attack in for extra, which is funny. If this draws an untapped land, we can Cosmos this turn. You wants to fight? Wants to fight? And then Kogla, the Titan Ape here, is gonna get to smash their oven next turn. He likes to break the opponent's toys. Chapter 3 is there to give you time to blink it with Yorion or sack it to Doom Foretold. Yeah, basically Luna Hero. Yeah, there's a turn 2 combo deck, press a pick. We got turn 2 comboed twice yesterday. The Tybald's Trickery or whatever it's called. The red counter spell. Kogla no like great henge. Kogla smash. It's a cute 4/4. I'll make some snacks. Heartless Act, Eat to Extinction, Wilt. Scavenging Ooze sounds good. This is probably not a Graven Lore matchup. This is probably not a Solemn matchup. Maybe I don't want both copies of Wilt. Seems fine. Because, like, we have this and Kogla to smash their toys. Like this. I've mostly been cutting Graven Lore against aggro. You like Stroke? Stroke only counters... I guess it counters Henge, Wicked Wolf. I think Stroke's just too narrow. I think we're mostly a tap-out control deck in this matchup, so I don't really want Stroke, because I think we're not gonna have the ability to hold up the mana in the early game a lot of the time. Does it sound weird for you sometimes as well? When I get really loud and pitchy, my RTX voice cuts out my voice because I don't sound like a human being. I have a noise filter on my microphone that sometimes thinks I'm noise. And to its credit, it's not wrong. If you asked my wife, she would probably agree with RTX voice with some consistency. Not my voice, the game. The game audio seemed fine. I don't think I've heard any distortion on the game audio side. The only Amphilogus, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Does it distort the kids? Yeah, the RTX voice in its current state is fairly sexist. It filters out higher pitched voices like children and women often have. Because believe it or not, if you train your AI on a biased data set, your AI is then biased as a result. So they largely trained RTX voice based on male streamers, so it has issues with people that, yeah, believe it or not, human bias can be introduced to AI. Pretty sure we mulligan this. No plays before turn 4 is just no good here, especially on the draw. This hand sounds lovely. We'll mulligan a Wolfwillow Haven, and we'll keep the rest of this lovely curve. Hey, patronizing Porpoise, thanks for patronizing me. I appreciate the 10 months. Welcome back. So I think we're playing this is green, this is black, this has to be blue. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with sample bias and a lot of different things. Morning, Stormbreath Dragon. Hey, based on your username, I assume you've seen the 4/4 Flying Haste Dragon in this most recent set. No, you have unlimited snow basics for free. How much of a hot mess is Historic right now? Uro's still legal. All you need to know about Historic is that Uro is currently still legal there. The only Magic format that Uro has been banned in is Standard, and he is the most played creature in every format he's legal in. That's all you need to know about that. Alright, so what does this do? Is 3/3 trample, makes a beastly. Sure. So I got another black source here, so I think I want more green on this then. To play Elder Gargaroth, and then if we peel an untapped land, we can jam the World Serpent next turn. It's gone. Thanks for the 3rd of year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning. Yeah, a few people have asked me about other Magic formats. I don't ever intend to play with the Magic card Uro again. Maybe a Cube draft. I might tolerate him in Cube. I don't intend to play Constructed with Uro ever again. Hopefully, once we get a few more months in the graveyard, some other formats will be able to escape him as well, but for the time being, he is what he is. Great, so we get a redraw here towards our untapped land for Koma.
Get out of here.
It's really sad. I'm really sad that Ikoria is never going to be legal without Eldraine, because Ikoria has some incredibly sweet designs in it that are just not competitive in a world where Eldraine cards are legal. I love the mutate mechanic, but it just cannot hold a candle to the other things that are going on. It's such a sweet mechanic. Are we done here? We're done here, right? Yes, we're a platinum gamer, chat. A day and a half to go from bronze to platinum. Not bad. .jpg. House management, it's been reasonable, Arpie. There were some sweet cards in the newest release. We could maybe get punished for this keep. I guess all my lands are green. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to mulligan because all my lands are green. This is technically fixing. If we draw, like, any non-green land, we get to Solemn, and then we'll have a non-green land, and this gets the other color we're missing. Perfect. Don't play the counter unless I pay 1 card. God bless. God bless us, everyone. Okay, we find second blue source. Double Graven Lore is probably absurd against whatever controlling thing my opponent's doing. Oh, they're the cycling deck. Alright, Graven Lore suddenly is less good. Are they like the cycling aggro deck and they just don't have a threat to start? I have played a little bit of Koma. Not a ton, but a little bit. I usually only... So, Koma next week's a sponsored segment. That's up on the calendar. I usually only take sponsored segments for games I've actually played a bit of. Do I just get rid of this? I think that's the case, right? There's like 1-for-1 this year. It's a little bit of an odd play, but it's the right one. For people in chat that have already heard me make that joke today, get over it. I have 3 kids. I'm going to continue to make that joke. 6, 7, 8. I don't think I'm supposed to make a wolf yet. Our original keep, not having a lot of our colors catching up to us here, having 8 mana sources now and not having the second blue. What's going on, huevos? I assume we're just going to get like 20 balled for Zenith Flare at some point in this game, right? What is Koma? Koma is a free-to-play digital card game that's available on Steam. Has a few unique ideas in its gameplay, a few borrowed ideas from other games, and its main appeal or gimmick that it has going for us is that it's only monetizing via cosmetics. So when you create an account and sign into play, you immediately have access to all the cards in the game, which is a neat way to do it. That's quite sweet with their cycling cards. Makes their first cycle double each turn. What's the name? Koma. Koma, Blight and Blood. There's other words behind it. Let me check my schedule. I have the name on the calendar. Koma, Bloom, and Blight is the name of it. We're gonna be playing it on Tuesday afternoon next week. I think I'm in for Binding and Gargadon here. I can play Binding this turn to kill the other one. Yeah, it's on Steam. Hey, what's going on, Owl Knight? Thanks for the tier 2 and thanks for the 27 months. Welcome back. I have zero desire to play a digital card game. or to play a non-digital card game. Sorry, I love digital card games. I don't have room in my life for non-digital card games. If I want to play something in paper, I doubt any other digital card game will ever have the competitive type of series that Magic has. And if I want to play a non-competitive game in paper, I will simply play something that's not gonna have a bunch of loot boxes in it. If you're interested in casual tabletop games, I would highly recommend things like Dice Throne or Smash Up or a plethora of the board games behind me. Much more affordable than TCGs. Dice Throne especially, if you're someone that likes multiplayer EDH, Dice Throne is a fantastic game. It's basically like a Yahtzee meets Magic mashup that plays 2v2, 3v3, FFA, free-for-all with lots of different people. It has a lot of variety in its game mechanics. We taught the kids how to play that the other night. It went over pretty well. Yes, you can get the entire game in one box. They have 16 characters, which are basically their decks, and they're $10 a piece. We are definitely going to get Zenith Flared for a large amount. Unfortunately, I don't really have... I don't think I put any Graveyard Hate in my sideboard. I have some Disdainful Strokes that can counter it post-board. I did not put any Lanterns in, though. Thanks for the 44 months, Buttnuts. Oh, I do have Scavenging Oozes. You're right. I forgot about those. Yeah, the people listing other games, there's a ton of great regular board games, but Dice Throne plays very similar to a Magic-style game where you have a life total and a deck of cards. And the way the politicking can work with lots of people at the table is very, very similar. Yeah, the seasons for Dice Throne are basically their expansions, Jake. So we're definitely just gaining life with Gargaroth in an attempt to not die to their deal, whatever. Netrunner only does 1v1, right, Precipic, or am I misremembering? Yeah, so Dice Throne's great because you can do like we taught the kids and we played 2v2 the other night with my wife and I with each of us had a kid on our team. What can we look for with Graven Lore? No idea. Let's find out. None of these do anything, right? I don't think we have anything in our main deck that does anything here, right? I don't have other ways to gain life. I don't have Graveyard Hate. We could kill the Pinger. Yeah, that's fair. I don't have Scoozes in my main deck. So definitely dead to double dub Zenith Flare here. Hey, thanks for the 27 months, Fish Lamp. Good to have you back. Am I dead yet? And this is where I would put my sweating emote if I had one. So there are 27 cards into their deck, so pretty good chance they've got another Zenith Flare here. Do they not have another Zenith Flare?
Perfection is a journey, not a destination. You are too dangerous to roam.
A Leaf, thank you for the 53 months. That is an absurd duration. Welcome back. Listen, chat. If you have to choose between being lucky and being good, being lucky is always the best option. Yes, there is a co-op expansion for the Dice Throne. Christy and I have that, but we haven't played it yet. That's something we're going to try with the kids at some point. Okay, so Ugin's pretty mediocre here. Kogla's pretty slow. I like that this applies a lot of pressure. Extinction Event's probably not great. Heartless Act has a very small window where it can be useful against their wolf, but this kills their other things. Like they have the 3 mana legend that seemed reasonable for them. I think we want these. Solemn's a little on the slow side, and I'm cutting Kogla and Ugin, so I can probably afford to trim a piece of ramp. I'm leaving the draw spells in because I think finding Heartless Act and Skews has a lot of value in this matchup. Are we Sultai Snow? It depends on what you classify as snow. We have some cards that care about snow mana, but we're not all in on the snow theme. What kind of things in the cycling deck be boarding in here? I have no idea. Did Huevos? That's why I'm just focusing on formats that might be fun. Rather than complaining about issues that I have, I'm just going to focus on the positive and just skip over the stuff that sucks. Life's too short to be upset about the games that you're playing. If you're unhappy with Magic formats, just ignore them. I think this is fine, right? We need to fetch Swamp with this. Then we go this into this. We're missing blue for this, but we've got turns to draw that. Perfect. And now this gets to fetch Island for us. So I'm gonna play this tapped on 1 now and wait to play this as our 4th land. Cardinal PG, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Is that legal? Yeah, there's enough, like, actual crappy stuff in the world to be upset at. I'm pretty done being upset at the games that I'm playing. It's gonna hang out with the good, ignore the bad. Remember, all parts of Magic are optional, so if there's parts you don't like, just skip them. Other people might like those, let them enjoy it. Sweet, that's our 2nd blue as well. I think I give them a turn with this for the sake of resource efficiency here. This can technically hit us for 2 and then 3, 4, 5 next turn, but that's fine. We're only going to 15. Second Fox is kind of scary. Do I give up my 2nd blue here? I don't think so. Am I supposed to kill both? I don't know. I feel like the playing to win line is... waiting. I have a fetchable blue source, chat. I need 2 blue to cast Graven Lore. If I play this as a black to kill this turn, I have no more castable spells. I'm going to be in a position to be dead to Zenith Flare next turn. I'm just going to go ahead and tap out here. I don't think, like, there's a chance they board in counterspells, so I think I just do this now while the getting is good. I only get to scry 1, but that's fine. I think I'm bottoming here. I just really need to find Scavenging Oozes and, I need to find Scavenging Oozes and Disdainful Strokes to not die to Zenith Flare. Yeah, I mean, killing their payoffs is obviously valuable, but it's a question of, like, what am I going to do after we kill their payoffs? Like, I still have to continue playing a game after the fact. Maybe it's right to put this into play tapped rather than hold up this. I actually don't have triple blue, so I can't Graven Lore into a stroke here, which is unfortunate. So we are going to be dead to Cycle Flare. Okay, well, we're not getting flared this turn, so that's a start. Okay. Okay. I mean, this is exactly how we drew it up during sideboarding, right? I said I wanted to leave these Graven Lores in so I could dig to my answers to not die to Zenith Flare. We identified the game plan that could get us to victory, and now we're trying to execute it. Welcome back. Here's my money. Thank you for the Prime support. To be fair, it's Jeff Bezos' money, though. I appreciate it all the same. Extra blue source. We can do both of these in a turn. We're at 14. Yeah, I think we just gain life here. We have plenty of cards lined up, so I just want to be able to beat double Zenith Flare down the line. Slammin'! Thank you for the 19 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Do we ever risk tapping out? Nope. I have no intention of putting Magic decks back up on my website in the short term. If I'm still playing Magic a month from now, that's something I'll consider. Ayumi, thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Everything that I stream will still end up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. If you're looking for a variety of decks, that's a great place to go if you can't catch everything live. Making a beast there so you have lethal next turn. Yeah, it's probably a good play. I don't know. I think we're kind of on a build our own adventure book at this point. I guess I could technically cycle everything and then hit running lethal Zenith Flares is a possibility. Yeah, I probably should have put lethal into play. I agree with the people pointing that out. I wasn't paying attention. I just like had a game plan. I was like linearly going for it. In my head, we're just on the like counterspell and gain life game plan. Yeah, they could definitely kill us with running flares here, huh? I can't life gain around that. In fact, maybe gaining life altogether was wrong. Yeah, but I have removal spells, so I definitely should have done that. In fact, these are lethal even if I gain 3 here. I should have been drawing cards this whole time, looking for Scavenging Ooze or another thing. Yeah, if we lose this game, it's because I messed up. If they peel another flare, I definitely had the tools to play around. I had the cards to play around them drawing double flare here, and I did not. I also misidentified what I should have been doing with Gargaroth based on the volume of cards that they have. Like, yeah. So if they find their second flare, we're dead, and we deserve to be dead. I should have either been making beast or drawing cards for the start instead of gaining life. Alright, so it's got to be this card or the next one. Alright, last hit. Survey says. Our opponent was very unlucky. We were very lucky to win the first game, and then they got pretty unlucky to win the second game after I made a mistake. It didn't matter, but it's worth noting that my decisions there were bad. That's why it's important, like, people often come in when we're testing decks and they, like, ask us, like, well, what's your record with the deck? And their record really doesn't matter. Anybody that's keeping track of their record to justify why their deck is good or bad, if their sample size is less than hundreds of games, their record is mostly irrelevant. In order to mitigate that average variance in games and get a statistically significant sample size, one player is never hammering out enough games on their own with any deck. You really need some kind of deck tracking tool or API type thing to be able to access that type of information to make statistically relevant claims. Yeah, the record only exists as clickbait, correct? Because a lot of people don't understand basic statistical concepts. This hand's actually really good, right? We need to draw a third land, but we have land ramp spell into second ramp spell. Like if I find I've got what, 2 draw steps at an untapped land here. Big Zawine, thank you for the 39 months of Prime. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm sure it makes a lot of people feel better. A lot of people make impulse decisions based on small amounts of anecdotal evidence all the time. We gotten any use from Faceless Haven? We've attacked with it once or twice. How do you think it compares to Crawling Barrens? I think it's better than Crawling Barrens, so I'm playing it. I think if your deck can play Faceless Haven, it's better than Crawling Barrens. This is where the magic happens. Welcome. Defender of Cats! Thank you for the 2/3 of the year. Welcome back. If they don't have a play here, we might have a chance. Yeah, they have another play. Okay, and we're done. This was fun. Good skill testing game. That's how it goes. Our deck's playing 26 lands. If we hit the land there, our hand is incredibly good. I think that's worth the risk to reward. We're gonna cut these Graven Lores. Extinction's probably too slow. Trim a Solemn. My plan for the second game is to attempt to draw some lands. Apex, thanks for the follow. I thought I lost the streak. So Twitch doesn't require you to have streaks to maintain sub identities now, Defender of Cats. It tracks streaks and total sub tenure separately. So if you like sub for 3 months and then take a break and come back and sub for a few months, it'll still add them up. Seems much better. Has a guaranteed 3rd land. Nice mace stun, bro. Thanks for the 1.5 years. So the big difference between Crawling Barrens and the Snowland is the Snowland only requires you to spend 3 mana to use it, whereas Crawling Barrens requires you to spend 5 mana. And 3 versus 5 is a really big differential. This is your game for the day? Are you sure that this is the one you want? You're confident? You did all your research? Declan gets 1 new freemium mobile game per day. Well, there's new people here today. They gotta know what's up. I'm wanting to get back into Magic Arena for Historic and Brawl. I'm determined the best way to go about it and getting more wild cards. I'm considering purchase $100 20k gem package. What's the best way to invest this? Just opening packs, Fish Lamp Clock. Figure there really isn't a good way to get historic cards because historic cards come from so many sets. So like the answer is you're supposed to just buy packs from sets that have the most cards you might want to play in out of them. Because you're going to get the same amount of wild cards from any set. Is the overlay down? Other people have been talking about the overlay having issues. What's going on, Roxor? Good morning. Well, that's very rude. How is my Titan Ape supposed to break your maul if you kill him? So we'll get to play this next turn and then Ugin them? I think I leave them the sundown. So I'd rather have the extra loyalty on this to be able to exile more stuff next turn.
To the essence of the multiverse.
So they can't play these anymore, right? Oh, I'm missing my second blue. That's sad. These are both 1-drops, right? Any variants of which, have any suggestions for which variant of Earth or Historic? None. Have no desire to play that format or with that card, with or against that card.
My sand will protect you.
All creation can be undone. Reality is unwritten.
Ugin's worth a lot of cards, chat. There might be something to this Ugin card.
Now is the time to strike.
This thing doesn't even give indestructible until their next turn.
Consider this a warning.
It's white. That's true. White cards are generally bad.
I will guard your advance. Despite defeat, I am proud of us.
All creation can be undone.
My friend. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Just gonna run it back. I wonder if Wilt's good here. They have Sky Maul in their deck. Solemn's pretty bad in the draw. The Serpent animation is very good. Big agree. It is the snake we met in God of War. Oh, it hits Life's Bounty too. Yeah, Wilt's great here. Yeah, seeing sounds great. This is a land. This on 2, this on 3. No 1-drop from them is incredible for us. Rufio, thank you for the sub gifties. That's very generous of you. Good morning. You navigated that great. I would have minus forward Ugin instantly. Good calls. Thanks. You found the stage 3 of binding to be okay. Stage 3 of binding doesn't exist. Close your eyes and look at the card and pretend that it doesn't have a stage 3. I think we need to do this turn and kill this, and then we'll Extinction Event these next turn. The stage 3 of binding is really good. It says you may sacrifice this to as foretold after it's been played for its other effects. That's what this card says. Those that haven't played it before. I think with that play, I keep my Florahedron. Because then if I draw untapped land, I can stick Koma next turn. It is in fact just like we drew it up. And like this card, as we showed last game, just does not go toe-to-toe with Ugin. It is a heck of a danger roll. Opponent tried to outgrind the Ugin last game. They're not doing it 2 games in a row. The Nope Rope. That's a great nickname. The Nope Rope. I like this list. It worked out pretty well in practice. I like where we ended up at. The sweet mix of top end threats felt good. Graven. I think the big standout to me that I wasn't sure if it was going to be good enough is that both Faceless Haven and Graven Lore felt very reasonable with just the 10 snowlands plus Solemn to fish them up consistently. Felt really good. If you're someone that wants to play with and tweak and tune this deck, one thing that's very notable is that there aren't any double black cards in this deck. And actually thinking about how things played out, my mana base is probably a card off. I feel like this snow-covered swamp should probably be another island. We are definitely tight double blue at multiple points. And I've got 4 pathways here that are black, so I'm not. Yeah, but like when you're playing this card for the kicker, like this isn't a half. That's like the Chief's Thirst is double black is a very Twitch chat actually answer. So like the game, the matchups where you're kicking this card, you generally aren't excited to have it in. You're playing this because it's 1 mana murder something, and the flexibility that it can have by getting double black is nice. So I thought about playing some of these snow duels that are tapped, but I really don't think I want any more have to be tapped lands. I think the Triomes are the ones that we want, both for fixing and like being able to fish up Triome with binding is good. I don't think I want more have to be tapped lands in this deck. You can afford to play a tapped land on 1 a lot of the time, but after turn 1, you pretty much want all your lands to be coming into play untapped. So, and in a way, Florahedron's another tapped land. So we in a roundabout way have 8 tapped lands already. I'm not super confident on exactly what the mana base needs to look like. The split of the snow-covered basics and the split of the pathways. Our mana was mostly functional by virtue of the fact that Solemn fixes and our casting costs that we're playing are pretty lax. Double blue, not having that was the thing that came up most consistently. So I think I want at least 1 more blue source, but I could even see cutting 2 black sources for blue sources here. Is the only new card in here Koma? Graven Lore is a new card as well, right? Yeah, Graven and the World Serpent and the lands. All right, let's shift gears. We're not going to be